Hi, my name is Mariah Easley, and today I'm going to be showing you a few exercises on how to alleviate some pain in your tendonitis of your elbow. So, tendonitis of your elbow is going to be right here in this area. So, you're going to feel some pain, some discomfort, and even sometimes stiffness. And what causes that is tiny tears in the tendons right here. And that's also caused by repeated use of this muscle. So say for softball players, if you throwing that ball and you just keep repeatedly doing this, but also doing it with the wrong technique, that can cause some tendonitis of your elbow. Speaking from experience, I used to play softball and I had really bad tendonitis of my elbow because I used to throw curved instead of the right technique. So I used to always get a little discomfort in this area. So the next few exercises that I'm going to show you are going to help you alleviate some of that pain and just treat it at home by yourself, also with ice and rest. But these are some exercises that you can try as well. So the first kind of exercise that we're going to do is actually more of a massage of the tender area. And what you're actually going to do is by doing this, you're mobilizing the tendons and you're mobilizing the muscle in this area. You have to keep it moving because if it gets stiff, it gets harder and it hurts more. So the first thing to remember is that tendonitis of your elbow, also known as tennis elbow, is going to be on the outside. It's not going to be on this inside. So when you touch this outside, it should, like if you press down on it, it should feel like a little tender discomfort. You should feel some pain if you have it. So the first thing that we're going to do is you can sit in a chair. You can do this anywhere in your house. So the first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna find that tender spot. So you just kind of press around right here and see, okay, it hurts right there, right? So next thing you're gonna do, you can hold your arm out like this, almost like you're a robot, right? So you can hold it out like this, and remember I said we're going to mobilize the area. So you can either go up and down, side to side, or circles. So again, that's up and down, side to side, or circles. And we're gonna do this for about 60 seconds, right? You can do this while you're watching TV, doing literally anything. You can do this while you're walking around the house, literally. As long as you're keeping this area mobile, it'll be much better for you than, just going from practice and then going home and, just letting it be, because then when you go to practice the next day, it's going to be even more sore, right? Because you haven't worked on it at all. So we're gonna try and do this first. So I'm gonna count to 60, and you can do whatever exercises you want to do. Remember the up and down, the side to side, or the circle. I usually prefer the circle because I feel like it gets a little bit more, but you can kind of switch off. So you'll see me switch off during. So let's start. Okay. And I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And sometimes if it's very tender, you can take a break, a break in between the 30 minutes. So let's say we'll take a 5-second break because I know it's a very tender spot, right? So it's already hurting, and you doing this, it does make it hurt a little bit more, but it makes it feel better all the while. So we just took our little 5-minute break and then we're gonna go back. So 30 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so you just did 60 seconds of that exercise, getting the area mobile, and you can do this however many times you want to do it in a day. I usually should suggest at least doing it three to five times before you go to bed, especially if you just had practice. Like for softball players, I used to play softball, and my elbow would be on fire after practice. And of course, I went to physical therapy, but a way that I could help myself at home was to do this, like simply just mobilizing it and getting it, getting it warm, because the stiffer it is, the more it will hurt. So just keep that in mind. So that's the first exercise. Now I'm going to show you how to do the second exercise. So the next exercise we're going to do, we're going to warm up those muscles a little bit more. And this will help you for when we actually start doing some stretches, because again, if this is a tender area that hurts, we want it to be warm before we start stretching, right? So I'm going to turn to the side, and what you're going to do, depending on how tender the area is, you can either have your arm like this, relax, or if it's not as tender, you can go like this, right? So what you're going to do, let me scoot back a little bit. What you're going to do, I'm going to do it a little bit harder if it's not hurting, right? So you're going to extend, you're going to go like that. And just hold it, right? You can hold it for like 5 seconds and then down for 5 seconds. And what this is doing is warming up these muscles. But say it's a little bit harder, it hurts a little bit more, we can go right here, right? So you're gonna, same exercise. What we're trying to do is warm up these muscles, right? So I'll say do 10 of these. Up and down is 1, right? So let's do 10. And I'm gonna do it a little bit harder because my elbow doesn't hurt as much, but modify it to your pain level. If it's hurting too much, keep it right here, right? But if it's not hurting as much, go ahead and do this one, right? So we're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to take a 10-second break, and then we're going to do 10 more. So, okay, so we're going to restart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so give yourself a pat on the back, because with this exercise, now your muscles are warm and we can actually start doing more stretches that will pertain to this affected area. So that's what we're going to do next in the next activity. So the next stretch that we're going to do is this wrist extensor stretch. And what that is going to do is stretch all these muscles right here, right? Because your extensors go all the way down to your fingertips. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold your arm out, kind of similar to like the one we just did. So I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see a little bit better. Hold your arm out, and what you're going to do, just bring it down, push it down. and you're gonna hold, and you're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And then, so we're gonna do this 3 times for 30 seconds, and you can take like a 10 to 15 minute break in between each, right? And what this does is it stretches these muscles out. And if you wanna make it a little bit harder, you can actually turn your wrist in and pull it like that towards you, right? Another way you can do this, if you're at work or something like that, if you're not home while you're doing this, you can actually hold this part of your hand up to the wall and just push it against the wall. If reaching your hand over like this is a little uncomfortable for you, right? So we're gonna start with that one, and we're gonna do 30 seconds, and we're gonna do 3 reps, right? So here we go. Hold your arm out, right? Fingers pointed down, and you're gonna push this towards you. So 30 seconds. Okay, that was 30. Now you can rest for 10 to 15 seconds. You can shake your arm out, or, you know, just let it rest. It's like, we're gonna do like 5 more seconds because I talked for 10 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna go back into it, right? This time I'm gonna actually turn my wrist and make it a little bit harder. You don't have to do this if it's too tender. This is only if you can handle it, right? So you're gonna go with however much pain you're in. You don't want it to be in excruciating pain. You do want to stretch the muscles and get them warm, but we don't want you to be in excruciating pain while you're doing these exercises, right? So 15 more seconds. Okay, and then you're gonna shake your arm out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is going to be the last rep. I'm going back to the fingers pointed down. Again, just make sure you're pushing it towards you. Arm out straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you're finished with that stretch, and now we're gonna move on to the next one. And this one is going to be a little bit harder with a weight, but I'll tell you what to do in the next clip. The next exercise we will be doing is wrist extension with a weight. And what this will be doing is strengthening those muscles, right? So you can get anything around the house, a household item, but we're gonna start off small. So you're gonna wanna do something that's 1 pound, because this is an itis, right? So right here, this is all inflammation. And if you get too much of a weight at a certain time, then you can just cause it to be more inflamed or more irritated, and that will cause you more pain. So a suggestion that I would do is to get a can of soup. Cans of soup are literally like 1 pound, a 1 pound. And this is something easy that you can start off with. Now, if we do this exercise and it's a little too easy for you, you want to challenge yourself more, then you can get something a little bit heavier. But I would always suggest to start off with 1 pound, just to see, you know, the next day how sore you are after these exercises. So what you're gonna do, you can do this sitting on a table, or you can do this sitting in a chair. So what you're gonna do, I will turn to the side so you can see. You're gonna have your elbow, your wrist bent, right? You're gonna have your arm bent. And then you're gonna have this can of soup right here. And what you can do, you can either rest your arm on the table and just have your wrist hanging off the side of the table, or you can do it like how I'm about to show you, and you can just kind of hold your elbow. And so the motion is all the way up, all the way down. And you're doing this slowly, so we're trying to get the full range of motion while we're doing this, right? Okay, so we're gonna do 2 sets of 10. And if that's too easy, so say like you're feeling still really good, it's not really bothering you that much, then you can bump up your sets to 3 sets of 10, 2 sets of 15, whatever works for you, right? So we're gonna start off with 2 sets of 10. So I'm gonna turn to the side. Make sure your arm is bent. It has to be bent. And I'm gonna hold this again, and then we're gonna start off, right? So 1 up and down is 1. So, and make sure you do it slowly so you get the full range of motion. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. So we're gonna take a 15-second break, not a 15-minute break after that. But make sure while you're doing this, you're really focusing on getting the full range of motion, right? So you don't want to do it too fast because you're not really, you're not really getting the stretch that you need. Doing it slow with this weight helps you get the full range of motion. Okay, so that was about 15 seconds. So we're gonna start again and do the last set. Ready? And if you're not at a table, make sure you're holding your elbow because you want your arm to be steady. The only thing that you want to be moving is your wrist, right? You don't want your arm to be going like this with it because that's not stretching anything right here, right? So you're gonna make sure you hold it securely. Make sure you have the weight secure too, you don't want to drop it. And then we're gonna start. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. 9. And 10. And make sure you're really doing it slowly so you can feel, because you'll be able to feel the muscles that you're pulling on, right, when you're doing this. So make sure you try to do it as slow as you can. You don't want it to be too fast or too loose, right? You want to feel the whole motion. So I'm going to move on to the next step. So the last exercise we're going to try is this towel twist. And I know you guys see that I have a towel right here. So you can get any size towel, but I really suggest a medium-sized towel. Or if you don't have that, you can get a big towel like me. I didn't have a medium-sized towel, so I just had to get a big towel. You can also do this with a shirt, say if you don't have a towel at home. So you're just kind of I'm gonna open it up a little bit, and I'm just kind of gonna fold it. So basically what this exercise is we're basically twisting the towel in 2 separate directions. But what this is going to do, it's a strengthening exercise. So it's going to strengthen those extensors. So it's going to strengthen those muscles right here, right? But it's also going to strengthen these muscles because you're twisting the towel in 2 different directions. So usually the amount of reps you can do this, like 2 sets of 10. But if that's too much for you, you can go down 1 set of 10 and take a rest and then maybe try another. Or if it's not enough for you, you can do 3 sets of 10, 2 sets of 15. So I'm going to show you. This is kind of a big towel, but you're going to go like this, right? Hold it out in front of you. And then you just twist opposite directions with both hands. Right? And if it's too loose, you can hold it tighter together. But the motion is basically wringing a towel, right? So you're stretching those muscles. So we're going to do 10 sets of these. And I'm going to stand to the side so you guys can kind of see. what it's going to look like when you're doing this. So you're going to hold the towel in front of you, and we're going to do 10. So we're going to do 10, 10-second break, and then 10 more. So I'm going to hold the towel in front of me. So if you can kind of see it, I'll do it to the side so you can see my arms. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And while you're doing that, I know you're going to feel a burn. You're going to feel a burn in here, and you're also going to feel a burn up here, right? Because you're holding your arms up. But this is a strengthening exercise, again, like I said, and it'll help you in this area, right? So your muscles don't get as tired. That's really the issue. The repeated motion, the muscle gets tired, so it puts so much stress on the tendon that the tendon causes and has little tears in it, right? So we're gonna do, that was 10 seconds of me talking, so we're gonna do 10 more and then we'll be done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we're done with all the exercises that I had to show you on how to treat tendonitis at home. I hope this was a very informational video. And like I said, you can do all of these exercises around the house. You can almost do them leisurely, really. But these are really good exercises for you to alleviate some pain and some pressure that you're having around this area. So